Monica from Wild Mythos Drums here, and I'm sitting in my beautiful wild garden in my backyard, which I'm very blessed to have. And I'm here today and excited to offer you an invitation to part 2 of the Wild Mythos Drum Journey. That was going to take place on the American River, July 15th through July 19th in Lake Tahoe National Forest. So some of you may know that we just had part 1 of the Wild Mythos Drum Journey, which was called Elk and Cedar Birthing Your Own Sacred Drum. And it was extraordinary, and we went out into the oak foothills behind Big Sur, and we dreamed into and asked permission and received permission for 11 new sacred drum carriers to birth their drum out of elk skin and cedar into the world. And begin to ask questions of what it means to be a carrier of a sacred drum, or a drum of power, or a medicine drum, or whatever, however you refer to this amazing being. And one of the amazing things we discovered out there was 2 things. One, to be a carrier of a drum of power in these times means a huge commitment to being one who walks in truth and speaks the truth about our relationship with the web of life, how it's broken, how it's longing to be repaired, how the people are longing to discover a kind of belonging and a meaning to life that is simply not met in our material culture and our consumer materialist culture. And that when you walk with a sacred drum, that you are committing and diving into a language that actually came before the spoken language, like it's the rhythm of life, the rhythm and the complex relationships in the web of life. And that when you are walking with one like this, that this is a living being that has come from and lived in deep participation and big conversation with the rhythms of life and the rhythms of earth. And so when you carry a drum, you're committing to tell the truth, to be a truth teller. And then we're asking the questions, what does it mean to be a truth teller in these times? And another thing we discovered is that we talked about is that being a carrier of a living drum, it's an amplifier. And it's going to amplify whatever and whoever you are, your resonance, your vibration and your frequency. And so therefore, if you're carrying a drum in order to get lots of attention, or be one who is having everyone look at me, look at me, look at me, the drum's going to amplify that. However, if you're carrying the drum and your intention is one of I want to bring awakening and healing to the people in these times. I want to bring deep connection to the wild web of life. I want to help people discover their re-enchantment with the natural world. I want to offer emotional, somatic, and relational healing and awakening so we can be in conscious relationship with the web of life. That means with ourselves, with one another, and with this amazing animate being that is Gaia. That the drum will amplify your resonance, your consciousness, what you're bringing into the world. So this invitation is for anyone who is already in a deep relationship with a drum of power, or a healing drum, or a medicine drum, or a shamanic drum. You're already someone who knows that the way of you being you in the ecological web of life is carrying a medicine drum and being in relation with that drum, discovering what the harmony is, the song is, the rhythm is between you and this drum that changes and touches for the greater good everything around you. You may already be into this journey, or you may be just beginning this journey. This 5-day excursion into the wild is for either one of you. Even if you don't have a drum and you didn't have to take part 1 of making your own drum with me in order to jump in to this really rich offering that's going to happen on the American River. You might need a drum, and I can certainly help you find the drum that's calling you and wants to be with you, and go into a journey about serving the greater good in the great turning times. What were we going to be doing? We're going to be employing lots of soulcraft practices and deep listening practices. So you will actually be learning, how do I have an activated, animated relationship with a drum of power? What does it mean to be a carrier and actively courting your partnership? So this is called, courting a visionary and purposeful partnership with your drum of power in the great turning. That's what the offering is called. We will use, of course, drum journeys and trance journeys to listen for and call in visions of who and what we are and what our relationship is with the drum, and who is this drum that we're with? What does the drum itself want? What is its voice? What is it longing for? And then we'll also be doing dream work, deep imagery, and we will be going and doing lots of wanders in this wild place, and it is just gorgeous. The East Fork of the American River that we're going to be on is a wild part of the North Fork of the American River. So we're very close to where this river begins up in the Tahoe National Forest. And so it's really wild as it comes down through this camping area where we're going to be. And the wildlife is amazing there. Dogwoods are blooming like crazy right now. There's currants, wild roses, cedar and alder and willow and the stone people, and many other beings there who will be fed and nourished by the way we are being on the land and with our intention of what we're coming there for, which is to deepen into our sacred marriage with the living drum and the drum of power that we carry. So we'll be doing lots of going out and listening for the rhythms that exist in this web of life, and let them bring us vision and move us and change the shape of us, help us find our original authentic shape. We will be doing counsel, we'll be doing somatic exploration and movement, befriending the dark, and many, many other practices together out in the wild. So this is going to be a journey that deepens you into your soul. Who and what are you in this world? I'm really excited about this, and I'm offering, of course, an early bird registration. You can go to www.wildmythosdrums to find out all the details. I have an amazing co-guide. Some of you know that I trained at Animas Valley Institute with Bill Plotkin, who is the author of Soulcraft and Nature and the Human Soul, and one of the amazing beings that trained there with me, John Lynch, is going to be my co-guide for this, and he is, one of the things we're all longing for in this world is to meet men who have really, be with men, be in community with people in a male body who have a strong and healthy feminine inside themselves, and a balanced masculine and feminine. This person is just shining with that, and also has a very unique way of inviting individuals into that mysterious journey that is the landscape of psyche and nature, as well as his own deep relationship with walking with the drum of power. So please join me on the American River, July 15th through the 19th. Bring your drum, let me help you find your drum. Come and sing and dance and pray and grieve and vision, and walk deeper into the biggest conversation you can have with mystery and the wild web of life and your own soul. So here I am with Keeper of Painted Stories, and drumming you out with this big invitation. I look forward. Come, come, come play.